What's good, all of my Ruthless addicts? It is your girl, Dikahn, and I am here to bring you a recap of Tyler Perry's Ruthless Season 3, Episode 7, entitled The Strangers. Okay, you guys, let's get into it. So last week, you guys, we saw where Lynn and Malcolm made their way to the Rakadushi compound. They are now at the pavilion where they're basically having an introduction conversation between themselves and Andrew and Dikahn. And y'all, when I tell you guys Anthony Bless played his role, he literally played his role. He went from hugging Dikahn to hugging Andrew to giving that eye contact, basically saying, yeah, motherfucker, I am here and there ain't nothing you can do about it, as if he's taunting Andrew, okay? And so, with that being said, of course, they question him, and Andrew is playing his role as well because he has that look on his face when a stranger comes into the place and nobody knows them. He has that mean mug look on his face towards not just Lynn, but he has that look. Definitely, that look is definitely for Malcolm. And so, in the process, Lynn is saying, "Well, is it okay that I brought him? Can he stay?" And Mal Dikahn is really he's trying. He wants to question him, but he's just leading up to it. He's not just going right into having a conversation with him. He's trying to see what his angle is, who he is, and so then Lynn is, before she asked, well, am I going to meet the highest? And he says, yes, you're definitely going to meet the highest. And with that being said, before they do anything else, she's constantly saying, well, I have to pee. Where's the bathroom? And sis, there ain't no bathrooms, but you're going to find out right about now. So Dikahn calls up Zane, calls her girl, but calls her over to them and tells her to take Lynn over to the bathroom. Now, Zane and Lynn are headed towards the bathroom, but you guys, we already know. First of all, Dikahn said to take Lynn to the outhouse. Lynn said, outhouse? There's not an in-house, meaning there's no inside plumbing that I can use instead of an outhouse. So, and then she doesn't even know what this outhouse is going to look like. So anyway, with that being said, Zane escorts her over to one of the, well, it looks like, I think it's the only, I don't know, we've never seen another outhouse, y'all. So I'm thinking this is the only one that they have on the compound. But she escorts her over to the outhouse, and also in between that outhouse there are two showers, one for the men and one for the women, and there's somebody right there bathing, taking their shower, one on the male side and one on the female side. And Lynn is like, is there another place I can go to use the bathroom? And she said, shoot, I'll take a bush over this right here, meaning she would rather use the woods than to use the outhouse that's provided for her. And y'all know what happened the last time somebody went to the woods because they had to use the bathroom. Anyway, that would have been Lilo, who ended up with his head chopped off by Oliver. But anyway, y'all, so Lynn says, she's still kind of hesitant about using it. And then Marva walks over and says, and she speaks to her like they like the best of friends. Hey, Miss Marvel, like a whole conversation, like they've been the best of friends. Little does she know, Marvel doped her behind up. Then again, she probably does know because she kept saying that food is so good. Yeah, and it made me feel good. Yeah, it made you feel good. You was high as a kite. And now that's why you're back for more drugs. And so anyway, Marvel kind of convinces her it's okay, to go ahead and just use this right here. It's perfectly fine. You'll get used to it. And so she asked her, Lynn asked Marva, to hold her purse. And so Marva's like, okay, I'll hold your purse. But she's standing there kind of like looking at Lynn while she's trying to go into this little box of a bathroom. And Lynn is like, you gonna stand there and watch? And so she's like, no, I'll be standing over there. So she takes her purse and she walks on over to the opposite side. So then Malcolm convinces Dikahn to allow Andrew to give him the tour. Now, y'all, if y'all paid attention in the very beginning, Andrew never mentioned his name. His name was never mentioned by anyone, but some kind of reason, some kind of way, Malcolm calls Andrew's name. And Dikahn kind of looks like, he has just a little look on his face. But anyway, he convinces Malcolm, he convinces Dikahn to allow Andrew to escort Malcolm around the Rakadushi compound. And basically that's what he does. Good, because this is that one-on-one time that Andrew needs to let Malcolm know, man, you're doing the wrong thing. So once again, y'all, we all question what side Andrew is really on. I don't know, y'all. I think he rocking with the FBI, to be honest, simply because of the fact Malcolm is his enemy. Malcolm slept with his wife, so he could have easily said nothing. But then I know that Andrew doesn't want Malcolm to blow his cover too. So also the question of why Malcolm is there, not only is he there to mess with Andrew, but he claims or has somewhere in his mind to think that he is the only one that can help the people that are on the Rakadushi compound, because he mentioned in the conversation with Andrew that, I'm here to close the case that you couldn't close. And Andrew is trying to convince him, man, no, you don't want to do this. You need to get off this compound. You need to take that girl and you need to go. And Malcolm playing the role. He's not listening. He's going to be super save a hoe. And Andrew is just like, man, you don't know what you're doing. You really, really need to. You really, really need to get off of this compound. But like I said, Malcolm is on a mission. We thought he was there just for the drugs. Malcolm has his own little mission. Now, whether or not his mission will be successful, I honestly don't know. But at this point, Malcolm has stepped into a bed of red ants, and it's getting hot. It's getting hot, hot, hot upon him, okay? All right, y'all. So then we see we see Joan and Ruth. And they're both just having a conversation. Joan, of course, tells Ruth she needs to go and talk to River, and then they also kind of discuss the situation about creating a plan to kind of stall on getting the Highest to purchase the pregnancy test. So the longer they take to get those pregnancy tests, the longer it will take for the Highest to find out that Ruth is actually not pregnant. So that's a plan that they're trying to work on. And Joan got a little courageous when she walked away, because of course in the midst of their argument, Ruth tells Joan, walk away, and she called her crude Ruth. So now Joan, she coming with some more name calling, y'all. Her name callings, her curse outs are really funny because it's Joan. Joan is so innocent, so to speak. I'm not saying that she's innocent in her actions, because there is absolutely more to Joan that we don't see, but she's so prude and she doesn't curse, and that one side of her doesn't curse, and then that's that other side that will give you the business. So anyway, y'all, it was funny. Prude Ruth, unfortunately, is the new name that was given to Ruth by Joan. Crude Ruth. Crude. Okay. All right, y'all. So moving on, we see Oliver and Lacey. They are currently in the punishment trailer, and they pretty much just reminiscing, rehashing, thinking about their actions, talking about what they could have done better, what they could have done differently. Oliver is saying that if he had known all this stuff was going on, he would have left this place. This place being the Rakadushi compound. But people in life, things happen. We make choices that we kind of have to live with, and unfortunately, their choice has led them currently to the punishment trailer. Now, y'all, I know that we talked about last week. They never got rid of that knife out of the punishment trailer, the one that Brian had. So I'm still kind of trying to look around in these scenes to see whether or not that knife is actually still in there, and if it's going to be beneficial to Oliver as well as Lacey when it's up for them to become or to get punished. Moving on, we see the Highest and Dikahn. Dikahn enters into the Highest's trailer. The Highest is walking around frantically looking for something. He says he has a headache. But I, of course, think he's looking for drugs, and he can't find them. He can't get his fix, and he starts to act a fool. He's mad again at Dikahn. Dikahn is giving him the information, but he begins to drill Dikahn. Dikahn tells him, hey, she came, and she being referring to Lynn, he lets him know, look, she's here. She's here. Who else? Malcolm, and she brought somebody. That's what he said. So the Highest asked, well, is he FBI? Is he the government? And Dikahn says, well, I don't know. And basically, in a nutshell, the Highest is like, well, what you telling me about it for? But the Highest, you know good and freaking well, if Dikahn hadn't have told you that there was somebody else there with Lynn, and you found out for yourself later on, you would have been trying to kill Dikahn. So then the Highest tries to get slick at the mouth. Well, how is your arm feeling? And he's like, Dikahn is like, well, I'm gonna be fine. And the Highest says, I should have cut your head off. So like, what is the Highest going through right now? He on some whole bipolar stuff. He happy one minute, he crazy the next. He mad at everybody, mad at the world, mad at the government. So anyway, basically he goes to the door. He's yelling, I want food, like a big old kid having a temper tantrum, but on a higher level, y'all. So we gonna find out later on what is actually going on with the Highest. But he's acting a whole clown right about now. So then we see where Marva has made her way with the Highest's food. And y'all, they did it to us again with this plate. And I don't care. I'm going to bring it up. People don't like it when we talk about it, but I'm bringing it up. Y'all see this plate with all that bacon? Those pretty pieces of bacon and that eggs and that toast? Well, later on, when we get to the Highest, y'all pay attention. When that food goes back to the Highest, pay attention to that plate. When you see that plate, it's gonna have 2 pieces of sausage on it. I'm like, what the heck happened to the bacon? Like, what the heck happened to the bacon, y'all? Anyway, I know it's TV. I know things happen, editing, so on and so forth. But these plates that they bring initially make me hungry. And then when I see the final product, I'm like, okay, now you're messing with my stomach game. But anyway, y'all, I digress. Let me get back into it. Ruth basically lets Marva know I'm going to be the one to take the Highest as his food. And, of course, Marva wants to go in there and take him the food, but Ruth is not letting her close to the Highest at the moment. She's not letting her anywhere near. Your title is Top Chef, so you're going to be Top Chef, Mother Supreme, or Supreme Mother. You are now the Top Chef, so fix the food. That's all you need to do. So anyway, and then Marva mentions to Ruth, oh, you're glowing. You look beautiful this morning. She throwing shots. She trying to be shady. We know. And then Ruth just says, oh, thank you. And so she moves along, takes the tray right on into the Highest. Um, takes the trailer to the Highest, and like I said, he on his bipolar crap, y'all. He is on his bipolar crap because initially he told Ruth the night before, he was like, I want to see River tonight. So, but then this time around, he asked Ruth, well, where were you? And she says, I was in my trailer. I was in the women's trailer. And she said, well, you needed to be here with me. And she told him, well, you told me, bruh, that you wanted to see River. So I was under the impression that it was gonna be you and River. That's it. And so he says, well, you have to is your third eye not working? Nobody's third eye is working, apparently, on this Rockadoochee compound. Because if it were the third eye, they would have been gone a long time ago. So anyway, Ruth notices that the Highest is going through his whatever he got going on. And initially, she challenges him. She says to him, she's basically trying to stand up to him, but then he walks up and gets all up in her face and says, basically, this is not the time that you want to challenge me. And so then, she's like, okay, your Highest. Like, in other words, she defeated, she tapped out. Man, whatever you say, I'm out. I have time for this craziness. So she's making her way to get ready to walk out of the trailer, and then he says to her, and then first of all, he kicks her out. He tells her to leave. So she's getting ready to walk, like he said, she's getting ready to make her way out of that trailer. And then he asks her, well, where are you going? Bruh, sir, man, Matt, Highest, Tyrone, all of those people that's in your brain right about now. You just told me to leave your trailer. So why am I staying again? Why would I say? You just told me to leave. So anyway, y'all, the Highest is absolutely going through something. He's absolutely going through something. He needs some milk. I don't know, but the Highest is going through something. So then we have Joan and Dikahn in the finance trailer because the Highest sent Malcolm to go get Joan because they need to have a plan. So Joan is preparing her books, getting everything together, and Dikahn is trying to figure out. He wants to know what the plan is. Now for the Highest to be a person that's always saying, "You need to tell me what's going on," he absolutely relays barely anything to Dikahn. So Dikahn doesn't really know what the plan, the money matter plan is between the Highest and Joan, and as far as what they're going to do regards to the money. So Joan is like, I wish I could tell you, but Dikahn, I can't. So he says, okay, and lets her go on her way, and so that she can head over to the Highest's trailer. So then we have Malcolm and Andrew still walking. Andrew trying to go in on trying to get convinced. He's trying to convince Malcolm to get off the Rockadoochee compound. But Malcolm is not catching on to the clues. He's absolutely not catching on to the clues. So he is basically, because he's not catching on to the clues, Andrew even says to him, man, this dude kills kids. You see those kids over there? He will kill all of those kids. And Malcolm was like, so he kills kids? Yes, he will kill kids. He's going to kill everybody on this Rockadoochee compound if you don't get up out of here, because you about to stir up a whole bunch of mess. And, Malcolm being Malcolm, don't listen. He didn't want to listen to Andrew. So then Dikahn walks up on the two. And Dikahn says, all right, Andrew, I'll take it from here. Now, I don't know if Malcolm heard, or if Dikahn heard any of Malcolm and Andrew's conversations, but he takes it away, and they walk away. He and Malcolm walk away. And when I tell y'all, Malcolm already playing the role, he should have been the Highest, or the Highest number 2, because he already has the yoga movements, the hands, the praise to the high with the hands, and he's got it all down packed. and he's very touchy feely too. When Dikahn shook his hand, he told him, hey, you got a real strong handshake. And I don't know if he was flirting with him, but what he said, but basically what that conversation led to was him telling uh Malcolm Malcolm telling Dikahn, hey, yeah, I was a Marine, and and then Dikahn says, well, Andrew was in the Army, and there was a name that Andrew said they call people, call us soldiers in the Army or whatever. Listen, bro, don't disrespect the Army. Nah, I'm just joking, y'all. I was in the Army, so anyway, I don't like that. It's just a rival thing, and they portrayed that on the screen. They portrayed the rivalry between the Marines and the Army. Even though it was on the Rockadusha compound, they still portrayed the rivalry between Army and Marine. Okay, so anyway, Dikahn and Malcolm, they walk away, and then we're forwarded over to Joan in the Highest's trailer. The Highest is basically asking her, well, what's the plan? So she lets him know, hey, I'm gonna need a computer and a few other things, to basically start the process of the transfer. One of the other things she said that she would need was gonna be internet. So at this point, the Highest says, okay, here's the computer, and the internet, do what you gotta do. So she sits down and she begins to prepare to do whatever it is she's gonna do to be able to get them to go to, and they have to also go to town to get the money. So now she's setting the scene that, about how they're gonna work it out and what they're gonna do to get the money, how they're gonna leave and all of that, to go and get the money. So then, you guys, we're forwarded over to Marva and Lynn in the kitchen. Now, Marva obviously can cook because the way Lynn is going in on this plate, it's as if it's been one of the best meals she has ever had. Looks like it's got a piece of, I don't know if that's a piece of ham or steak or something on that plate, and some asparagus, but it's good. And Lynn remembered it from the last time. So in walks Dikahn and Malcolm, and Marva likes what she sees when she sees Malcolm. Oh, well, who is this, young man? And he's, Malcolm plays the role. He grabs her by the hand, kisses her on the hand. Oh, he's so sweet. You don't even know Marva will make you her man, honey, real quick. You better not flirt too hard. But, they're basically just having a conversation, talking about how good Marva's food is. And Dikahn proceeds to tell Marva, fix them a good plate. They're going to be here, so go ahead and fix them a good plate. Now, Lynn is already eating, but she stops what she's eating for another plate that Marva is going to make for her and Malcolm. Now, Dikahn tells Marva to make that plate real strong. So, the two of them are about to get hooked up, right? Because anytime these two can get along long enough to work together in the effort of hurting someone, they will. So if y'all look at the look on Dikahn and Marva's face, they're up to some shenanigans, okay? So y'all, then we get to this scene right here was crazy. This scene right here, Ruth was talking to River and asking him was he okay and so on and so forth. And he's saying, yeah, I'm fine, but he's just evil. He hog ties me, he beats me, he slaps me, just all kind of stuff. And River kind of ready to go, but he wants that money. And so Ruth lets him know, look, I'm not leaving, I'm not going anywhere. Now what I'm about to say, y'all, my language is gonna be, I'm gonna try to say what he said without the language that he used. But River, Ruth is like, well, I got to make sure I get my daughter and Tavia, and and we kind of, make sure these kids are okay. River yells out, "Man, buck them kids!" And y'all know what word I'm saying, he yells out, "Buck them kids, buck them kids." Ruth is like, "What?" Like the compassionate River. Now you talking about bump those kids? Ruth says, "Okay, River, don't play games with me. I see who you are, and you're constantly showing me who you are." So with that being said, Ruth just walks away because now she got to process what this fool just told her. Um, you know, her whole plan is about her kids, about the kids. So why would you say that to somebody who is, what her true intentions are? She wants some money, but she wants to get away with her daughter and Tavia. And so he has gotten on Ruth's bad side for a moment. Now I don't know how long that bad side is gonna last, but he has absolutely gotten on her bad side. So then Marva, Malcolm, Lynn, and Andrew are standing by. They're over at the pavilion. Lynn and Malcolm are sitting at the table eating some food that Marva has prepared. Marva got this big old country grin on her face. Like, is it good? Is it good? Yeah, it's good, but you done messed us up in reality. So anyway, Malcolm acted like he hadn't eaten in weeks. Like, man, this is so good. This is so good. So then Dikahn walks up. Dikahn walks up and no, he's not there yet. But they're eating. So then Marva walks away. Yes, Dikahn does actually walk up because he asked her, how long would it take? And she says, of course, it shouldn't be very long. In the process, though, Malcolm, he's all in with that plate. His plate is looking nice. He's feeling it. So then we see Ruth over in the kitchen. She's looking through containers and trying to see what all is going on over there, or what all Marva has been putting in the Highest's food. So Marva walks in the kitchen and asks her, "What are you doing? What are you looking for?" And we finally got the combination of what Marva has been putting in the Highest's food. So basically, it's lithium and Valium, which are his mental health medications. She says that he doesn't like to just take them, so I have to put them in his food. I know him, and she tells Ruth, "You'll never be his confidant." Ruth is just, she thought she had it all figured out, but now she know for a fact this man is off his rockers and definitely needs to be on medication all the time. So with that being said, now she knows he's a whole mental health case, and they've got problems. They really have problems. So then we're back at it again. The Highest and Brian are in the trailer. Oh my God, y'all. Can I say I feel so bad for Brian at this moment? The Highest cut another freaking finger off. And Brian's like, "Please don't. I can bleed to death." But the Highest like, "Oh, I can assure you you're not going to bleed to death. And I am going to keep cutting him off until I get some information." So he cuts his finger off and he says, he tells them, "If I bring your wife in here, would that make you talk?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" No. What you talking about? So let me get back to one point, y'all. Basically the food that Malcolm and Lynn ate basically has some type of poison in it or some type of drug in it that basically knocked them out, because Malcolm ends up passing out on the table, and then shortly after, Lynn ends up passing out right next to him. So with that being said, we forward back over to where the Highest is torturing Brian. And so he calls Dikahn in. He said he asked Brian, "If I brought your wife in and she's about to have surgery. Would you tell me some information then? So at this point, Dikahn, the highest, calls Lynn. I mean, he calls Dikahn and Andrew into the trailer. So they're in the trailer, and they have Lynn with them. Lynn, her shirt is off. I don't know what happened to her shirt. I guess they got her undressed for whatever torture she's about to endure through the highest. So she's so drugged up, she honestly doesn't know what's going on. But with that being said, after that, Andrew Malcolm, I mean, Dikahn is looking at Andrew, or Dikahn is looking at Brian and the highest. Brian is looking at Andrew like okay, 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 and then he looks back over at the highest and says, "Okay, I'll tell you," and that's it. That's it. That's the end of the episode, you guys. So we got a lot and we got a little. But the episode was really good because of the anticipation that it gave me a little bit of anxiety, y'all, because I didn't know what was going to happen and how fast it was going to happen. But with that being said, that's where we're at. We are going to see, maybe next week we'll see whether or not the highest gets his opportunity to torture Lynn, or if there is going to be some type of information that Andrew or that Brian will be able to reveal. What do you guys think? I know I was kind of brief. I tried my best. I know I'm sure I've talked a lot, but I was trying to be as brief as possible, but without omitting too many details. Hopefully this served you guys some justice. And so we're gonna see what happens next week, and we have episode 8 coming up. I don't know exactly when we'll get a mid-season break. Hopefully not next week, because we need more and more and more Ruthless, y'all. But that was pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And for those of you that aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share. Tell your friends about us over here at All Things Ruthless, the home of the Ruthless Addict. And those of you that are my new subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I see the subscriptions when you guys come in. I see when you guys come in. So thank you so much for being a part of our conversation. And thank you so much for tuning in over here on All Things Ruthless. Also, I have I did a Ruthless conversation with Brian, who played by Jamie Callagher. So if you're interested in getting to know a little bit more about Jamie Callagher, the guy who is being tortured, the one who's being taken up and through there by the highest, if you're interested in finding out more about him, make sure you check out that video, that Ruthless conversation between myself and Jamie Callagher, okay? All right, you guys. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and y'all have a great one, and stay ruthless. Your girl is going to come back with another video a little bit later, but in the meantime, thank you so much for being a part. Thank you for being a part of this All Things Ruthless family. All right, you guys. Y'all take care. Stay ruthless. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, All Things Ruthless, where I, your girl, Tika Deshawn, will usher you all of the latest Ruthless content.